All right, we're back with another episode of Movie News, and we're going to start off with the man of the year, it seems like, Jonathan Majors, and
Yes.
he's had quite the come up. Do you want to kind of speak to that?
Yes. So Jonathan Majors, 31 years old and is already grabbing roles left and right, not just any roles, like some really huge stuff. It's kind of crazy. So last year he was in one of A24, I believe is the distributor, one of the A24's films, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, which came out to really, really great reviews. And he was a lot of reviews were directed at him, a lot of the acclaim. And then in 2020, he just had one hell of a year. He teamed up with what is arguably the most famous Black director in film history, Mr. Spike Lee, for his film The Five Bloods, which he did great in. Um, and he's in an HBO show right now called Lovecraft Country. It's a really great show, by the way. If you have HBO, I really recommend it. It also has Birds of Prey's Janae Smollett in it, and they're really great show. And Jonathan Majors is amazing in it. And then for the next few years, it looks like he'll be joining one of the most star-studded cast we've talked about on this channel, and he'll be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I don't know, man. I've never seen someone climb the ladder that fast and grab so many like huge roles as fast as he did. It's crazy.
It's really crazy. Last year was the year of Florence Pugh,
Hmm.
and her come up as an actress.
Right.
This year, I think, is the year of Jonathan Majors.
Looks to be. Looks to be.
And I'm really excited. He is cast in a role in Ant-Man.
Hmm.
Um, I think everyone, it's not confirmed,
Hmm.
but it's pretty, I think people within the industry are pretty certain that it's going to be Kang the Conqueror,
Right.
which is really exciting. That's a massive role,
Hmm.
which is not just for Ant-Man, but it's going forward in the MCU.
Yes.
So I think it's really exciting to see whenever you can get a great actor to play great character, especially villains. I think
Hmm.
you really want your best actors in a lot of ways playing your villains.
Hmm.
Uh, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm just like MCU news mixed with a really great actor. If you've seen him in The Five Bloods, I mean, I'm not going to spoil the movie. There's one specific scene where I'm just like so sold on him as an actor that he's just like spectacular in this one scene that I'm like, give him a role and he will be amazing.
Yeah. And and for those who don't know who the character Kang the Conqueror is, like this is like big news. Like this is not just casting like I don't know, like at least before like he blew up in the film. Like when Michael B. Jordan was cast as Killmonger, people really didn't know who Killmonger was. People were kind of like, okay. But Kang the Conqueror, for those who haven't read the comics, is like a huge character. He deals in time travel. He's connected to the Fantastic Four, who because of the whole Fox buyout, Marvel now can show in the movies. Um, this is a really huge like character, and to attach it to such an upcoming actor is like really exciting. And just for how much like I guarantee you Ant-Man's not his only movie. There's no way they do Kang and not have him just be an Ant-Man of all things. You're definitely going to be seeing him. Maybe he'll be fighting the new Avengers. I think that would be crazy. Jonathan Majors taking on Benedict Cumberbatch, Brie Larson, Tom Holland. um I think that would be you're going to be seeing him a lot as Kang, and it's like exciting character with an exciting actor. So definitely get ready for that whenever Ant-Man 3 comes out. Not sure if they have a release date.
No, I don't know if they do right now,
Hmm.
but more into James Major, he just got cast in The Harder They Fall, which is a Netflix film. I know Jay-Z is a producer on it.
Hmm.
And that's a really exciting film coming out itself. It's a Western featuring Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors, Zazie Beetz, Regina King, Lakeith Stanfield, Delroy Lindo. Um, and those six actors are like top tier actors in the world.
It is, yeah, it is an unreal. Like we've got me and you and me have you and I have gushed over like casts before, like if you check our Dune episode, or like even like when we did our Knives Out fan casting. But like first off, all black cast, and that's gonna like it's interesting. It's an all black cast in a western, just because like a western, what the westerns were such predominantly like white, like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood,
Right.
like so to have like this whole like star-studded black cast in this predominantly what was a predominantly white genre. I think that's going to be very, very fascinating. It's going to be so cool to see, and also just because the western is like kind of died out, so like just to see like the chance to just to see it like kind of come back to life for a bit with these people giving it life is it's really exciting. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a genre that kind of needs to be reinvigorated,
Mhm.
and I think with people like Idris Elba is fantastic in good films. So as long as you get a great director, I can't remember the director's name off James Samuel. I'm not sure if that's
I believe
exactly how
this
you pronounce his name.
I think this might be his directorial debut.
Yeah, I think from what I was reading, he is a playwright.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe so. But
Mhm.
I mean, this cast is amazing. Zazie Beetz and Lakeith Stanfield. If you've seen them in Atlanta, they're both great in Atlanta.
Mhm.
I'm currently watching season 1, and they just had an episode that highlights Zazie Beetz' character, and she's so great. She's great in Deadpool too, if you've seen that.
Mhm.
Lakeith Stanfield, Sorry to Bother You, he's amazing in.
We talked about
And
him in our Knives Out fan casting, I think,
yeah,
right?
which will
But
come out this Friday, I believe.
mhm.
Um, and
Using Get Out.
yeah, in Get Out. Oh my God, he's so great in Get Out. I almost forgot about that. Delroy Lindo, we were just talking about The Five Bloods. He's great in he. I think he could win an Oscar for The Five Bloods
I think personally he's the front runner right now.
right
Everything
now.
I've seen.
100%,
Yeah. Oh my
100%.
God.
He's amazing. Regina King, who will probably
God
win an
bless her.
Oscar or an Emmy
Mhm. God
for
bless
her
her.
role in Watchmen.
She's another like out of everyone here, she's probably the most like underrated. Like people don't talk about Regina King enough. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for this film. I know you are too.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for them to start filming and getting more news about how the film's looking. But moving on, we have a movie that's coming out on Netflix sometime this week, Enola Holmes, which is currently holding a 86% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's with 43 reviews.
Mhm.
Uh, I was kind of surprised. I saw the trailer and I said, the trailer looks pretty solid.
Mhm.
Um, but it seemed like one of those movies that you kind of see and you're like, oh, that's disappointing. But the reviews are good. We don't know much about it. It's coming out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's playing Sherlock Holmes, which is a interesting casting choice.
Mhm.
I'm curious to see how he plays Sherlock Holmes in this film.
I
But what are your thoughts?
I think well one like kind of similar to you. I saw the trailer and I was like, this is gonna be like a fun like cheesy time. Like I don't think it'll be anything like big, but like just to see like such and this is not to disparage like the film or like the cast is just like my reaction, but it's really comforting to see so many like so much praise for it. And I mean, let's see, we have like Helena Bonham Carter from like Fight Club and the Harry Potter franchise playing the titular character's mother. For those who don't know, the movie's about Sherlock Holmes's like little sister and how she like kind of like rises up on her own. You have Sam Claflin, who I've seen in the show Peaky Blinders, which he's great in as the older brother Mycroft, and then Cavill as Sherlock and Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. I think I don't know. I mean, just from those four people, I'm like pretty excited in. Enola looks to be a very different role for Millie Bobby Brown from playing the protagonist of Stranger Things, and I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, compare it to the other most high-profile Netflix release in The Devil All the Time, and it looks like such a tone shift from like the dark depressingness of Devil All the Time, and now you have like kind of a fun adventure. So Netflix got something for everyone.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's a really good thing to point out.
Mm,
I'm excited. I haven't seen a lot of Stranger Things. I'm still trying to get my way into that
mm,
series. I'm
yeah.
currently watching The Boys, so it's on my next up.
Mm,
But I saw her in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and that was a tough role for her. I hope she does well in this, and this is kind of a breakout role for her as an actress,
Mhm.
just to make sure that like she is not just the great actress from Stranger Things, she's
Right.
also just a great actress.
Yeah.
So I think this is an important role, and from what everything I've read, and hopefully what I'll see soon, she'll be really great.
Mhm.
So moving on, we're going to talk about Tom Hardy possibly being the next James Bond. Now, this has not been confirmed by any means. This kind of comes from a questionable source, but
We
um,
thought we thought it'd be an entertaining rumor to entertain, I guess.
yeah,
Just spitball what could happen.
I'm not a fan. I just can't picture their castings where I haven't been big fans of,
Mm.
and they turn out well, right?
Yeah.
That happens.
Right.
But I just don't see it. I don't see Tom Hardy being James. It just feels like a weird
It's
cast. And Tom Hardy's an awesome actor. I,
100%.
I don't see this being a role for Tom Hardy.
I just think like again, yes, as you just said, Tom Hardy's one of my favorite actors. He's like I think he's in my from my most recent listing of them. Like I think he's like my top five favorite actors. He's just a really incredible talent. Um, and when it's funny because the day when the rumor got leaked or released or whatever, my family just the night before was talking about who could be the next James Bond, and so to see that rumor on my like news feed the next day was like some weird um like just like a weird coincidence. Uh, I'm kind of I don't know because I I feel like if we were to look at his past roles, his role in Inception might be the closest one could use as like a measuring as a measure to what he could be like.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you, and it's like it's hard to say that just because Tom Hardy is so reliable and is such like again, like, such a great actor. It's just like I'm kind of with you. It's like it's such a strange. It was an unexpected thing. I would almost prefer them to cast someone lesser known,
Right.
like because Tom Hardy is a recognizable like name, so I feel like that comes with so much like assumption.
Yeah, I'd almost rather have Henry Cavill, who's playing Superman,
Mm,
even with that association, or Idris Elba. I think he would be a great choice. And they were talking. There was a time and a place where Robert Pattinson was
oh,
also
that's it.
rumored to be up for Bond, but I think I think Cavill and Pattinson, with the rumors of Cavill possibly signing a new deal with DC to
Mm,
do a lot of more films,
yeah.
him and Pattinson are probably off the table just because
Mm,
of scheduling and how long it
right.
takes to shoot a Bond film.
Right.
So I would really be excited if Idris Elba was casted as Bond. I
He
don't
was
quite have the excitement for Hardy.
for the longest time. Elba and Cavill was like at the front runner of everyone's like excuse me, was the front runner of everyone's fan listing just because like it just seemed to work. Like it just seemed to work so well. People also like to throw around. I know Robert Pattinson was thrown around. His name was thrown around. People even brought up Cillian Murphy from Batman Begins. He was the Scarecrow.
Right.
People brought up Tom Hiddleston, Loki,
That would
which
be a great casting.
like I'm trying to remember. There's so many different names thrown around, so many different options. Um, and looking back on all the ones I can remember, like Tom Hardy never came up. So if this thing is true, it's going to be the most like out of nowhere thing. Like no one could have anticipated it. It's just I mean, what do you think, Hardy? Like you've said, like it doesn't seem a good fit. Like what do you think like specifically like about him?
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the suave.
Mhm.
I think it's something about his personality and just who he is as an actor that doesn't quite fit him. And you
Okay.
need an actor with that. I mean, you have talked about Tom Hiddleston. When he's Loki, there's kind of that suave to that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it's the same. You hear Idris Elba talk. You know he has that ability.
Mhm.
If you see him in a film, and the same thing with Henry Cavill, and you know they can all do the action.
Yeah. For
That's
sure.
not a question. That's not a question with Tom Hardy either. To be fair.
Yeah.
But overall, I just don't think he's quite the right person, and that's both of us are big fans of Tom Hardy. Moving on, we have a Nomadland that was directed by Chloe Zhao, who directed Eternals, I believe.
Yeah,
which is coming out sometime.
Hopefully next year, God willing.
And starring Frances McDormand, which won the top film at Venice Film Festival.
Yes, it won the Golden Lion, which is the same award Todd Phillips' Joker won last year. And I know I'm a big fan. I know you're a big fan, right? Too, of Joker.
Very big fan.
Yeah. So for this film to share that spot with Joker, that's a pretty good, interesting sign already. I haven't seen anything in particular about this film. I kind of know I've read the synopsis on Wikipedia, but that's about it. So, I don't know. I think it'd be an interesting watch. I picture us, like, if we were still in A&A, we might have saw this at Cinemapolis. That's, for those who don't know, that's our indie movie theater at Ithaca College. But I don't know if that'll be happening.
Yeah, and I don't quite think so, unfortunately. But that's definitely a movie to look out for and a possible Oscar contender. Moving on to our final part of this episode, Malcolm and Marie gets sold to Netflix for a reported up to $30 million. This is directed and written by Sam Levinson, starring John David Washington and Zendaya. This was, I think, the first or one of the first films that was shot during quarantine.
Right.
There was a 20-minute reel that was shown to possible buyers. And apparently it was good enough that there was a big bidding war between essentially every streaming service and studio for the rights to this film.
And I mean, I mean, it seems to be a pretty interesting, like, for those who don't know, Levinson directed and wrote a few episodes of HBO's Euphoria, which Zendaya was a part of, and received her first Emmy nomination for acting.
She's so amazing in that role, and the directing and the writing in that role gives me so much faith going into this movie. There's just like, especially with the cinematography, there's such a commitment to how the film looks. And I know this film's shot in black and white, and I have such faith that Levinson as a director can like pull off this film that'll kind of look gorgeous and also have a gorgeous story with John David Washington and Zendaya. I believe it takes place during one night, and it's them going through the kind of trials and tribulations of being an early, early marriage couple, and going through struggles, and then kind of stuff unravels as they start finding out stuff they didn't know about each other throughout the night.
That's the part I'm excited for, just because, like, as it was filmed in quarantine, they obviously had to, work with what they had, but the idea of just this isolated spot, these two actors, sometimes that, just that idea of one singular location, small cast, the focus is all on them, that could produce so many good things, technical wise and acting wise. John David Washington, Justin Tenet, I think he's another up and coming actor who I'm definitely excited to see what else he does. And so this trio with this story, I think there could be a lot going on there, and I think that'll be a pretty interesting time. So
yeah, this film will make it onto one of my most highly anticipated films whenever it comes out.
It doesn't have a release date, right?
No, not as of right now. I'd assume it'd be 2021.
Okay.
Just because how soon they shot it and editing the film.
Gotcha.
Sam Levinson's also filming something for Euphoria right now.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that that's not going to come out anytime soon. Maybe early next year is probably where I'd say.
Gotcha. Well, at least it's on Netflix, so.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be pretty easy to watch. I think most people have access to it. But with that wraps up episode 2 of Movie News. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. And if you want to, go and like and subscribe the video to see more content from us. We're dropping a lot every week, so it's definitely worth it. But thanks for watching. Comment down below. Are you excited for any of the films that came out? is there anything that you feel like differently than we do, especially with the Tom Hardy casting? Do you think he is actually a good casting? Let us know if you do and why you do down in the comments section below. We'll see you next time. Bye
All
bye.
right. See y'all soon.